Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to create a beautiful About Us page using the Nextr theme. These are going to be some tips and tricks for beginners. So in this video, we're going to focus on a single essential page type, and we're going to show you how easy it is to make it professional, well, look professional, using just Nextr's blocks and the default WordPress Gutenberg block editor. We're going to use we're going to add some photos, a mission statement, and some contact info. And, it's going to be a clean layout. All right, so this topic might seem very trivial, an About Us page, but, well, it sort of is. We're going to be using very simple blocks, but we're going to take advantage of Nextr's in-depth settings, such as padding and margin, responsive settings, so on and so forth, in order to maximize these blocks and make it visually appealing. So we're here on our dashboard. Let's go ahead and hover down to Pages and click on Add Page. And let's go ahead and give it a name. Let's just call it Who We Are. Okay. We'll go ahead and publish that. And let's start off with a banner. Now, we could drag and drop an image, right? Over here, we can add an image, but what we want to do is have a banner that goes across the whole width of the site. So let's go ahead and input a container, Flexbox, and let's choose one of these. Okay, and then now under Style, we're going to go ahead and go to Background and select Image, right? So we're not just adding an image, we're using the background options for this container as an image area. Okay, so let's go ahead and select this one. I think it's wide enough. And you can see that we have our width. So let's make this full, right? It's going to occupy the whole space of the site. We're going to make it minimum height, and then we can toggle and adjust where this is going to be. Okay, and that looks about right. And now let's go ahead and add a simple heading to this. And just drag and drop that over here. So we don't actually have to worry about adding text or whatever. So let's go ahead and give our page a title, a heading, Who We Are. And let's go ahead and change what the heading tag is going to be. Let's center it up. And let's change the color to probably something light. And let's change the background to something else. Okay, and now let's go ahead. Let's change up the typography. Let's change the font. Okay, and now let's go ahead and configure this. So as you can see, since we've removed the left-hand block inserter, you can see it's continuing. So let's go ahead and click on the container. And under Style again, Background, Position, Center, and Scroll, no, Fixed. And then the repeat will be Repeat, or probably No Repeat. And we could probably make this probably Default. And Cover. There you go. And now it's taking up the whole space, and it is now a banner, a proper one. Now for layout, let's go to this flex property and let's align this to the bottom and let's center it up, and there you go. Who We Are is right there. So let's go ahead and save this and take a look at how it looks like on the live site. Okay, view page. And there you go. So far so good. Here we have our banner, Who We Are. Now let's go ahead and add another section. Let's go ahead and enter the block inserter. And you know what? Let's go ahead and add another container. And we'll put that in the middle right here. Let's make it simple, just this one. And let's put in paragraph and put it in here. Okay, design from scratch. And again, the same thing. All we have to do is just configure what's on here. So for paragraph, let's go ahead and replace this. All right, and let's put this on there. Okay, and that looks good. Let's center this. And let's leave that as is. For the title, let's go ahead and change this to Mission Statement. And let's go ahead and change the typography over here. So paragraph font is going to be, I like this font, so let's keep it on that. And let's make it a bit smaller. Okay. And let's change the title text to something, oops. Okay, there we go. Let's change it to something else. Typography, Helvetica. And let's change the title color to something else. Okay, probably blue, purplish blue. Okay, and then we can change how much space there is between these. Okay, and that's looking great. And then now for the background of this, let's go in our document overview and we can select the container. And for the style, for the background, let's change it to a neutral kind of color. Let's make it like that and get a bit like beige. Beige-ish. Okay, and then for border, let's put a border radius on this. 45 pixels, and it's going to round it out. Okay, let's save this, and let's see how it looks like so far. Okay, so far so good, and you can kind of see where it's been constrained there. Let's make it a bit smaller by percent width, narrowing it down. Okay, and then let's go under advanced, and then for padding, let's put EM 0.3. Oh no, it's probably margin 0.3 EM. Let's probably make it. Let's make it 1 all around. Let's see. Okay, save that and see how it looks like. Okay, and you can see that it's been pushed in a little bit. So far, so good. Now let's add another thing. You can see we just added padding with the margin. Well, margin spacing, that is. And this terminology is kind of confusing again because this is WordPress terminology, so you'll just have to get used to it. Let's add another container over here, and the same thing. And let's add another heading. Or probably paragraph might be better. Paragraph, and let's go ahead and change the, let's go ahead and change the text first. So for the title, our core values. And then for the paragraph, let's add something else again. All right, and then let's center it left. Okay, and for our paragraph, for our spacing, let's put a margin on the right side in percent. Let's say 50. Okay, and let's change the style of this. The typography for this will be Arial, and we'll make it smaller. Okay, and then let's go ahead and change the title text to Tahoma, and we'll make it a bit smaller. Let's add that. I'll make it a bit smaller. Oops. A bit smaller. And let's change the color to dark green. Okay, and then now let's see what else can we do. Layout. Background. Let's add a background color to this. Let's make it yellow and green. Yeah, that looks good. And let us add a button. Let's put a button down here. Okay, and we're going to align that a little bit over here. And let's call it learn about our values. And let's add an icon here. Icon. Let's search for one. Arrow right. And let's change the icon spacing. And let's change the typography to something else. Helvetica. Smaller font size. And let's add some margin to this, to the right, by 50. Probably. Oh wait, no, not 50. And there you go. And let's add a background to this. So here we have two blocks, but they're in the same container. Should probably be They're there. Margin 50. Let's make it more like 100. Or maybe it should... Oh, no, it's because we put our spacing like this. Okay, that's fine. And let's add a background to this container. Background image. And we'll select something from here. Right side probably makes more sense. Okay, and let's make it, oh. Scroll right center and automatic, then no repeat. And so that's going to be over there. And you know what? That's fine. Okay, these are our core values. And let's go ahead and save and see how it looks like so far. Okay, so it's really coming together. We have our banner over here. We have, okay, we might want to change this up a bit since it's kind of squished. So let's go ahead and click on this. Advanced spacing. Let's remove this. Save. And then see how this looks like. Okay, there we have it so far. Okay, it's looking, I mean, the colors probably aren't the best, but you can start to see that we have the containers and everything starting to layer up. So if you just take a look at this, it's really just a bunch of containers and paragraphs and headings. We're not using overly complicated blocks here. We're using just heading, paragraph, and button, which are like, and the container, and those are the 4 basic blocks that you're going to use. And I guess suppose image, if you wanted to add images, and we're just messing with the layout settings here so far. Okay, so now let's add a team member section, right? Let's go over here to the block inserter and let's look for, well, let's put this in a container just to keep things contained. But beyond that, let's look for team member. Okay, and this will make it so easy to add team members. So design it from scratch. And let's add 1, 2, 3, and let's center this, okay? And within our content, let's go over here to our container and flex property, center, okay? And let's see if we can space this out. Spacing, style, typography, spacing, let's put a margin on the left by 50%. That's too much. 5 to 10. Okay, let's save that and see how this looks like. Or if it might not actually load on us because we didn't put anything there. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So before that, let's add another container and put a heading on that. Or in fact, we can just probably get away with putting a heading on here. And let's title it Meet Our Team. And let's center that. Let's change the typography to... again, you can choose like any... Oh, yeah, that's fine. We'll make the font size a bit bigger. Let's change the color to... dark gray. Okay, Meet Our Team. Let's save that. And let's reload this. Okay, and you know what? I might want to move this up later on, but let's deal with this block first. So here we have our team members block, and you can see we adjusted the spacing and stuff just now. Uh-oh. Well, that happens, folks. We can click, oops. Unfortunately, that's something that happens when you click on the buttons within the block. And it's important to keep in mind to keep saving your progress. Okay, so here we are. Going through the same thing again because we keep clicking on these. And you can see that we have our layout settings. Some of them are saved for the Pro version of Nextr, but this is more than enough to get started. So we can align our content, we can display our designation, we can display the social icons. Right? If you hover over here, it gives you automatic social icons. You can also disable a link. We can also change what the title tags are. We can enable or disable image sizes. And here we have our content source. Our content source is basically this. And we can go ahead and give names to our right, and we can upload an image. Let's go ahead and use these creatures, right? CEO, right? And if we add some links to this, you can see there's Facebook. There's a Facebook link over here, and if I remove that, it's disabled. If I put Twitter, I can put let's say a hashtag here and a hashtag to his LinkedIn. You can see we get these buttons that appear, and we can configure these and give them custom attributes as well. So all you have to do is just put the link here, right? And column manager, we can choose how many columns we have, what the spacing between them is. So percent, we'll put like 1 or 2 or 3, probably 2. And for style, we can change the title, the typography. So if I wanted to change the color of this, or like the font of this, I can go ahead and do that. I can change the title color to something else, but it's a different thing. For the designation, we can change the typography of this, make it a bit bigger. And we can change the text color of this. We can make it red, right? And then social icons, we can change the icon sizes, icon widths, icon colors. We can put a featured image on this as well, but let's not bother with that. So here, let's go and add more content to these other ones. So content source, and put it over here. And let's right, and that's fine. Let's go ahead and add this last one, and you can drag and drop these too, by the way, just so you know. So I can put him over here if I wanted to, right? And then for here we have this other one. Let's see. And we put here. Okay. And that should be fine. So let's go ahead and click on save and see how this looks like so far. Okay. With that saved, we have this. And if we wanted to, we can go ahead and give this container a background as well. You know what? Let's go ahead and put a gradient on this. And let's change this to something a bit lighter, maybe like yellow-ish. And then for this one, let's make it a bit more like... Okay, and then let's put a border radius on this. 45. Save it. Reload this. And you can see that we have a gradient on our Meet Our Team section. So I kind of want to put it on top over here, just because I want it to be first. And I'll go ahead and add this as well. Oops. I want this out. Okay, I'll reload that. Okay, and then I kind of want to put something between this, so I'll just go ahead and look for a separator or spacer. Is that a thing? Spacer, there we go. Spacer, I'll put it over here. I'll give it height, and I can change the type as well. Right, I'll go ahead and click on save and see how that looks like. Oh, that didn't do anything, so let's go ahead and click on the spacer again, and then give it some more. Let's give it some more beans. Save. Let's reload this. Okay, that's looking much better. So let's turn this down a bit, just a few pixels. Save it. Reload this. And it should be a bit easier to read. So far so good. Alright, so let's go ahead and duplicate this. Right? And we're going to have this one again. And what we're going to want to do is shift everything the other way around. So what I want to do is go with flex property and put everything on the right side. Or actually probably center it. put everything on the right side. I want the image to be left center. And let's go ahead and replace the image with something else. Probably this one since it's on the left side. Okay, and then for our paragraph over here, let's mess with the spacing. Let's put it over here, margin 50% on the left. Oops, on the top, sorry, on the left. And let's save it and see how this one looks like. Okay, looking good so far. And let's change the colors of this and change the text. So paragraph, let's change this to okay, and then we can change the paragraph to something else. All right, paste that, and then let's see this. Change this to be okay, and I kind of want to put something in between those just to break things up. Okay, looking good, looking good. And let's go ahead and probably copy this one. Oops. Duplicate this, and then drag and drop this down over in between these, I suppose. And let's change this to something else. So here we go. Let's change the title. And let's change the typography for this. Arial. Oops, that's for our text. Let's change our title typography to something else. Okay, this probably like it's hard to read. Dark red or light red, and let's change this to change the paragraph text to something else. Okay, and let's add some buttons over here, or probably a container within this container, if it's even possible. Let's see, container within the container, and let's put this or actually it might have made more sense to make it look like this. Probably this one would be the best idea. Or we could have just done something else and not add that, and just use the container itself and add a an option over here. No, this should be fine actually. Let's go ahead and add a button right underneath. Let's not bother with the extra trouble of that. Let's center this. Okay, and let's save this and see what it looks like. So let's reload our About Us page, and here we have everything finally fleshed out. So we have our banner over here with our title, our mission statement, some text. Here's our team members that we've customized. Here's some like core values or whatever. Here's some more text with a button, and then here is some other options down here. So again, the colors might not be the best, the pictures might not be the best, so are the font options, but here you can see that we have used very simple blocks, right? The only complicated one is probably just the team member one, but that's something that makes it easier. Again, you could just use images and some text over here within a container and or a row and organize this in a very lovely way. So with that, I guess the main takeaway here is that even with the simple blocks, not even the fancy ones, you can make your layout look very good just by changing up the padding and alignment options. Now, with the team member block or the other fancy blocks, or even the blocks that you get with the Pro version, all it does is make it very easy for you to just click, upload the image, change the designation, add links to your team members. And where that comes in is that it saves you a lot of time, and time is money. So there you have it, a beautiful About Us page using the Nextr theme and simple blocks in the free version. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, as it really helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. Show this kind of video to other nerds like us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Hey, if you want to know where to get the blocks that we used in this video to make forms real simple, real easy, check out the link in the description. It'll take you to the website of Nextr, where you can get the Nextr blocks yourself. Now, if you check out the pricing, they have 3 different levels: starter, professional, and studio. We recommend getting the studio one because it's a one-time payment. It's lifetime. You get all the blocks, so you don't have to worry about not having the right blocks to get what you need done. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one. Hey, if you found this video helpful, be sure to check out one of our other videos, or go ahead and check out our channel and subscribe to see more content like this.